Upgrade your classic game room to CGR Hyper Mark III. Banished from Earth, classic game room broadcasts from the intergalactic space arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything. Welcome to Classic Game Room. Do you like Macross and Macross Plus and Macross 7? Have you ever wanted to fly a giant transforming robot and fight aliens? If so, you're gonna love this game. It's Macross Ace Frontier. Released in 2008 for the Sony PSP, Macross Ace Frontier is comfort food for fans of Macross and Robotech. Choose an awesome transforming fighter jet, fly in space battles, create explosions. It looks incredible and plays almost as good as it looks. Almost. I love this game, but I'll be honest, the controls take some time to get used to. Curse that PSP and its one thumbstick, it really needs two. Playing this game is like watching a replay of you playing this game. It's kind of hard to believe what you're doing half the time. And that may not make sense until you play it. Get used to flying backwards, or at least in reverse, because you'll frequently be watching the front of your plane as you shower enemies behind you with missiles. And I would say it kind of gets annoying, except for the fact that it never gets old. It always looks spectacular. This game really succeeds in the look and feel department if you love Macross. It's like you're watching one of the shows, and it has the music from the series, which is, of course, sensational. There's 4 different series that this pulls from: Macross, Macross Plus, Macross 7, and Macross Frontier. Where you'll play through little condensed versions of the storyline and unlock numerous transformable fighters and characters from the series. And then you upgrade them and customize them, give them your own paint job. Seriously, if you like this stuff, you'll have a lot of fun with Macross Ace Frontier. It's not quite as complex or in-depth as something like Another Century's episode, but for a handheld PSP flight action game, it gets the job done and does it well. Macross Ace Frontier won't set you back all that much either. It's not terribly expensive or difficult to find. This is region free. Although it may take some time to get used to the controls and navigate the menus if you don't read Japanese. Which I don't, and I figured out how to play it. And I'm a moron. The first thing I did was play right through the Macross campaign, which is pretty sizable. Sadly, Macross Plus isn't nearly as big, but the YF-19 is in the game, so who cares? It's awesome. Like most of the Macross games, you start out with one of the crappy Veritech fighters, Valkyries, and unlock new variants. From there. You slowly upgrade it, increase its weapons strength and health. As you play through it, you'll also unlock some new pilots and co-pilots, including Max Sterling, my favorite character. This one kind of reminds me of one of the Gundam games, and that's not a bad thing. If I have any real complaints, it's about the controls, but I'm not sure what else they would have done. There's just not enough buttons, or at least thumbsticks on the PSP to do everything right. So basically, you fly around using the D-pad and then change configurations with the thumbstick, which is easy to mistake right in the middle of battle. Like, you'll transform when you want to move left. Whoops. You lock onto enemies with the R button and then shower them with missiles using the circle button. Holding down the L button while also pushing the square button will cycle through your main weapons. The flight and auto camera controls are strange to say the least, yet it's all so worth it. It's so much fun, and it looks great every single time. There's a few missions, not too many, where you run around as the Batroid, the giant robot mode, and there's some confusing boss battles that may take some getting used to as well. I'll just give you some advice going into it, because when you fight Chiron in the beginning, you'll get your ass kicked. So play some of the earlier missions over and over again until you level up your plane. That goes for all of the campaigns. Also, don't forget that you can switch from your homing missiles to laser, and laser does a great job on the giant space cruisers and end bosses. Like so many other games, after each mission you'll be scored a letter grade, S being the best, unless there's like a multiple S rank, in which case I haven't gotten that yet. There's some multiplayer options. After you complete campaign missions, you can go back and play them with whichever jet you want, or at least whichever jet and pilot from that series. I think there's also some other free play options buried in the menus as well. I've currently finished the Macross Plus and Macross series in the game, and I'm working my way through Macross 7 and Frontier, which I'm not familiar with. I actually haven't seen those series, but the jets look really cool. It was great to hear the Macross Plus music in here, and one of my favorites from all the Robotech, or all of the Macross stuff, is the YF-19, which was Isamu Dyson's transforming robot. I gave it a red paint job because I could. And I'm going to blow up the entire city, spending billions of taxpayer dollars, because I'm still upset that Gold Goa Bowman owes me 20 bucks from lunch. I absolutely love the ending of Macross Plus. I don't know why it's so funny, but, you know, they're having that conversation in their planes at the end, like, oh, sorry, I still owe you lunch money from high school. We just blew up, like, the entire Air Force, but really, I'm pissed off because you got to second base with Mune first. Sorry I tried to kill you, repeatedly. I'm an ass. Great game. I recorded so much footage for this, I'm actually making an extended cut review for the Patreon backers who get that. There's a lot to enjoy here. Macross Ace Frontier. Never owe a Zentradi lunch money. Thank you for watching. Follow Classic Game Room on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Welcome to the club. It's the Lord Carnage Club, where I give thanks to these backers on Patreon. Starting with Jim Moriarty, Sergio Matthias Hergert, Zach Brenner, yeah! Jason from Kamloops, British Columbia, Busy Signal! Yeah! Woo! Shadow Minion 4, Lord Carnage, Al Stiver, Sean Zoltek. Nah, I'm just kidding. Sean Zoltek! Stephen Chucknick from New Jersey, Landon Ellerby, so Lando, Philip Straubenmuller of Vienna, Austria, Jack Stavros from Australia, Ohad Kane, Jeff, Captain Dauntless, Briar, Rick, DeBarros, Will, Kid Shuriken, and Chip Sankbale. See you next time on Classic Game Room. Mark 3!